StarCraft fans, we got another video here. Archon mode, Robakazam and Chip versus the AI. Very hard. I'm gonna do some spoiler alerts in this match for the next 2 minutes or so, so tune out for a bit if you don't want to hear them. This is a terrain versus Protoss match where Robakazam and Chip get beat down pretty hard by the AI and have no business coming back, but somehow we're able to come back and win the game from virtually no army, and it seemed totally undeserved at the time, and I want to take a look and see what happened with that. We played this match a couple months ago at this point. I don't super remember it that well. I just remember the massive beating, and then I remember how we were able to come back and then ultimately win, so it'll be interesting to see what happened behind the scenes. The plan we were having here is to keep up economically with the Protoss. We know we can't win more than half of our games, in theory, when we're not playing against AI, but that doesn't mean we can't win more than half of the time, right? So if you're winning, get more ahead. If you're ahead, get more ahead. That's kind of how we try to play here. Try to build a solid defense and then do some harassment. Till about 200 supply, 180 supply, something like that, and then start pushing out with tanks. But we're not very good at any of that. So Robakazam is going to be doing the micro, Chipadon is going to be doing the macro. That's that. It's been a while since I've done one of these casts, so I'm not for sure I'm going to remember all the hotkeys. But player 1 is at home macroing. Player 1's down here for some reason. That's interesting. Player 2 is... Oh, player 1 is Robakazam. Scouting. All kinds of micro under the control of player 1. Player 2 is at home macroing. Player 3 is the computer. They're looking here. Is it? Okay, when I hit player camera for player 3, it doesn't take me to where they're actually looking. Maybe they're not actually looking anywhere, like when Alpha Star was first made and it saw everything at once. So, E for everyone. The AI is coming to scout. I didn't originally know that this wasn't a wall, but I knew for this match. Production? Okay. We're doing a good job so far. We tend to have a build order till about 30 supply, and that's about to go off the rails based on what's going on down here. So Robakazam sees they have a Zealot. That might make us not expand. Oh look, we already expanded, so it's not going to do that. What is Robakazam looking at? Alright, production. We are making another base, making an orbital, so we're up right now economically. What is going on down here? So we have a tiny little army. By the time they get to us, it'll be fair. We are down in workers, but if you add 3 workers for each orbital, we are down workers by a bit, but we're up bases, so I'm going to say we're up economically. But it's still very early in the game. No damage has been done by anyone on either side. Looks like Robakazam and Chipadon are scouting to look for anything sneaky. We know we're playing against the king of all sneakiness, the Protoss, so we're checking for that. The AI is very interesting with how they protect their probes. You can surround them. Their probe will dance around with these Marines, and it will try and stay out of harm's way, but you can see it's there and sneak around and kill it like that. I don't want to learn these tricks versus AI. I don't know how long we'll be playing AI for. I mean, at least until we can crush Brutal for a while and not lose. Just get our basic stuff done. But we don't get our basic stuff done. Like, let's see. Are we making any SCVs? We are. It's still early to forget about that, but we're both bad at making SCVs. We're not anymore. Oh, okay, we are. Is this going to be an orbital right now? I don't know what the build order says. I don't know. What's that guy doing? This is why we're not playing against Brutal. So what do we see? What does everyone see? Nothing on the map. Nothing weird. Now we're about tied workers because we have 2. Well, that's not an orbital yet, but we're about tied. We're still up economically because they're on 1 base. They're on 1 base. Their army's 14. This is just AI being awful, I think, right now. Look, they have 20 workers. Which, okay, if you have 20 workers and you're making a base and you can send some down there in a bit. They have a big army. They're not using it. They invested all this money in the army. They could have ended the game. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so right now, we may have decided to stop making SCVs. We probably have no business making that many more SCVs. We're on 2 bases against them. We don't want to over commit to economic. You don't want too big of a lead. If you have too big of a lead in that, I've lost games where I was well ahead, and I just decided, all right, well, if I'm so far ahead, I can expand twice or 3 times, and here I'm sitting here with 4 or 5 bases, and they're on 2 bases, and they beat me, and I think, well, maybe I should have built an army instead. And look at us, we got no army. We do have defender's advantage, so maybe we could hold, but that's one thing to be careful for, is don't make too many drones more than they have. And I think we're doing a pretty good job at it. We're not. We have 2 bases. We're doing fine right now. I mean, I'm sure there's a million minor mistakes, but overall, we don't want to poke the bear down here, right? That's probably why we're not. That's one reason we're not harassing. They're on 1 base. They're going to be able to withstand us. So let's let sleeping bears lie, I guess you would say. And every minute that goes by in this game, we're in better and better shape with the 2 bases. And we know that. Let's scroll down through some things here. Upgrades. They are getting warp gate. We are getting nothing. I don't know if that's a problem or not. Lost. No one's really lost anything. We killed that scouting probe. Army value. Control A. Army value. We can see down here our army's smaller, but I mean, yeah, that's a good amount. But by the time they get up here, we might be able to hold, depending on what the army's made of. Not doing anything, we're just happy being alive. I don't know if we're super aware that they haven't expanded in the last few seconds. Maybe that's what this guy's gonna say. See, maybe I'm gonna scan right about here. Probably wouldn't hurt to have a marine somewhere around here.
SCV ready. SCV ready.
Spend. Let's take a look at who spent more. Control S, is that one? Nope. So spend. We've got a bigger economy. They've got a much bigger army. They can really crush us. When I said we get beat down pretty good, I mean, you can see it. You can see it right now. You can see how it would happen. Just bring that production back. So we're taking up on top of this. I don't know if that's a wise idea because we're so far up economically. Oh, that's. I'm so used to playing Protoss. We're making a million things. They're taking up. Something's getting pinged down here. Oh, I was pinging where the 3rd should go right there. Which, that's a slam dunk choice, right? Yeah, right. The only other thing you would expand is there, or a sneaky something, like way down here or here. But yeah, we're saying let's expand there. I think, you know what's funny is I pinged that right after they expanded, so I wonder if we knew that. They expanded. I don't think we did. I think we just figured they... I don't think we did. Maybe we're just talking about it in general. There, Chipadon is making a supply depot on the fringe of the base. That's good, because you can spot drops by doing stuff like that. It wouldn't be bad to have supply depots around there, around the edges. So the question is, what is Robakazam even doing, right? Because Robakazam's microing. Robakazam is controlling this army, which has done nothing, which is fine. But Robakazam has nothing up here, no Marines up here defending against an Oracle. I think we just took them away with the thought that this is coming up, but there should be some Oracle defense up here right now. Let's take stock of where we're at. We are solidly up economically. We have more workers, so 32 plus 6. Our army is still lagging behind, but it's reasonable. Our technology spend, escape. There it is on par. And the computer has 2 seconds of idle time for their probes. What do we see? They're still on 1 base. We're on 2 bases. We really don't want to make a 3rd base anytime soon. We really just want to make sure we're not going to die. Are we making SCVs? No, we're not making SCVs. Maybe that's a mistake at this point. Maybe we should be making SCVs. Here they're moving out, and I wonder if this is what crushes us. I'm not sure. We got eyes and everything. We can see there's nothing sneaky coming out of them. I haven't noticed us scan this. It would have been nice to see what was in here once in a while, to see what their army's made of. Are they going sky toss on us? Are they going to show up with a million voids and just crush us? What do we have that could fight voids? We have Marines and missile turrets. What would beat this army? What would be tailor-made to beat this army? Well, we know this is gonna do a pretty good job against it. Which is just pretty generic Protoss infantry and robo army. Versus what we're normally going for, Marine, Marauder, Medevac tank. That's our favorite. With some Liberators and Vikings. Here they're moving out. Maybe I should have taken the Medevac down. The game we lost not too long ago where we were Protoss, and we didn't really do any harassing, Chipadon was just scouting the whole time. That was like what I'm doing here. What am I doing? I'm just setting up the defense, being happy, being up economically. Okay, that could have gone out a bit sooner. Maybe I saw they had 2 bases set up for a while, so now their army's not going to be in position. When they have 1 base, they're going to have something to defend, right? There's no point. Maybe just make a show of it. And here, we're going to pause it before this hits to see where we're at, but this might be where we really start to get crushed. We have a sensor tower, that's nice. We see them coming, okay. Pause. Pause. Take a snapshot here. Are we floating minerals? No, Chipadon's doing a great job. Look at that. I should have been looking at this more, but that's under 500. They have a lot for the AI. That's funny, right? Why is that? Maybe they're about to do a huge warp in, but they don't have a warp prism up here, so that's not it. Okay, so economically, we are up. We got to add 6 to that. We're tide workers. I don't know if we're up anymore. Yeah, we're up but barely. It's pretty close. Army, we tied. All right, so what I'm seeing here is we did not utilize that. Somehow we're botching something because we had that huge economic lead for so long, but we didn't leverage it into high army. Unless, do we have higher tech? No. We're tied tech. We're tied army. We're tied. So, all right. We're good with the minerals low, but we should have been a lot farther up because we're 10 minutes into the game. No, we're 10 minutes. We're 12 minutes into the cast. We are 8 minutes into the game. And for this long, we've been left alone with a huge economic lead. Well, on paper, but I'm saying it didn't pan out for whatever reason. Maybe because we didn't SCV up hard enough. Maybe because we were floating too many minerals the whole time. You think I'd have noticed that as we watched what happened? I don't know how they caught up. We are up slightly on tech. And really, we're mined out in our natural more than they are, so you could say we're not up. How many workers do we have down here? 3. 3. And our income versus theirs is on par. I think we should have started droning up more. I think when we saw they were on 2 bases, when we saw they were on 2 bases, it was a mistake not making a lot more SCVs. We were good at stopping, but then we didn't start again on time. So this is like the 3rd cast in a row I've seen from us, where we just are always bad at making these SCVs. It was you, it was me, and we did it again. But because of the huge economic lead, forgetting to make SCVs actually didn't put us behind, it just kept us on par. And if you're on par, you should be able to defend something. We have tanks set up, right? We have our bio right there. I bet they have upgrades. They have, how do I see that? G for upgrades. No, we don't have 1-1 stuff. Are we making it? That's production. Are we making upgrades? Yeah, we're making upgrades now. Is there a way? Oh, look at that. You can see where they're coming from. So we're making upgrades. Our minerals are low. We're doing okay on that, but all we have is stim. We don't even have combat shields. Alright. So mistakes were made on both parts. Them by just sitting on 1 base and not attacking. Us by not using that to full advantage by making more SCVs when we could have. And getting upgrades a bit. Army positioning. We see this coming, right? We have the sensor tower. One person is devoted entirely to micro, and I think I remember I just totally fell apart. That's not entirely true, but I could have done better. Let's see. Maybe I thought the tanks would be stronger than they were. Maybe I thought we had a bigger lead than we actually did, but we'll see what happens. This is, Immortals there with 1 Guardian shield. They can plow right through this. We'll see. See how they play it. So everything's tied. See how it goes. Pause. And what is player 1 doing right now? Player 1 is probably positioning the army a bit. Alright, here they are. Position it like it was Zerg. I should have put some guys up there. Pause. Just watch how it goes. Tanks are firing. Well, those guys were doing nothing the whole time. I set up like it was. Alright. Pause. So they came in there, they just steamrolled it. Look, they have pretty much their whole army. I bet lost is we're down 1,000 versus them. Army supply is our army's crushed. Now, for a competent Protoss player, you would think this could be GG. They have. We'll look at that in a second. We have yeah, it could be. We got crushed. Play. And back here, while that was going on, I did a drop at the same time, and the drop was very ill-fated. That's what my APM was. It was busy looking at that drop at the same time, but I did a bad job at the drop and this. Get down there, guys. The drop just drops into a bunch of army right there, so it all dies too. Tanks did some work, but that should have been up more. That was a big problem right there. So they just fall, and no, they do a little bit of work. The probes are fighting. How do I see how many probes? I don't know how to see how many probes. I don't have game heart. It wasn't played on game heart. Alright, so they stomped us down there. They wanted to come up the ramp. We shut this down, so they can't just walk up it. But we have nothing up here, right? It should be game over. We hold it by, well, you'll see. They should just come down. They could do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. Let's see what they want to do. This got shut down. Economically, I mean, it's over, right? It's over. Just march up there, dudes. You got it. You're not going to do that? When's Robakazam going to figure out to stop going down the ramp? Looks like now. Looks like this tank is... Send it. Just going to stand there and take tank fire? Is that what they're going to do? Okay. They can do it. Oh, just choke your own guys off at the ramp and take tank fire forever? Robakazam and Chipadon lost a game or two because we didn't know how to repair on time. We were using the wrong hotkeys. I can't remember if I figured it out for this game or not. So they're just being super indecisive here. Taking tank fire. They expanded behind us though. I mean, this gain is still theirs. Right? Take that. Kill it. Right? This gain is still theirs. What did they do? Then they retreat. Have another army coming up. So we know they're not dropping us along this corridor. Good. Alright, pause. So, they didn't kill as many workers as I thought they could. You know why? Because we didn't have that many workers down here. I didn't see that before. We should have had more down here. We didn't have more down here. That really mitigated our losses. The army, that one tank held the day. They could have broken it, but they were too stupid. The AI was too stupid to figure out how to do that. So they retreated. Behind this, they're expanding. So now they're way up economically. They have 2 bases fully saturated. Well, base and a half fully saturated. They're making a 3rd. Tech. They didn't catch up technologically. Oh, that saw our drop too. And now we're down. We're down with 1 base. Fewer workers. Tiny army. Huge losses. And we scrape our way back into it, and I'll just let it play for a while. Production. We're just happy to be alive, and we're going to try and make it work because we figure it's AI, and maybe we can. Or even if it's a player, we saved the SCVs. Look at that. Falcon Paladin says, train's not dead until they're dead. I see some crazy comebacks against really good players. So maybe it's not over. How many kills does this guy have? 6. What is player 2 doing? Player 2 is macroing and doing a good job keeping the resources low. Player 1 is doing what? Player 1 is launching counterattacks or setting up defense. I mean, what's even the point with 1 Liberator, right? I think that's what part of Robakazam's thoughts here are. What's even the point? We can't defend. We need to get over there. We need to get over there because they have 2 bases to our 1. They have way more workers. So we're going to try and get over there. And spoiler alert for the next 10 seconds. The rest of this match is the AI being so dumb at defending against this harassment. Alright. I want to see how big the deficit was that we came back from. Pretty big. Pretty big. Look at that. It's them being stupid again. But a player would do this too. You've seen players do this. That's one reason you want to keep attacking them. Keep just poking to see what their defenses are like. Could have went down a little bit earlier. Interesting how the AI timed that. They were oversaturated. They didn't go a little earlier. Alright, what's going on? It's Liberator and... We know about their 3rd base. Yes, we know about it. The SCV just scouted it. We're really good at keeping eyes on things. We could use more supply depots on the fringes here. So this is player 1 looking around, looking for somewhere to hit with that Liberator. We haven't expanded again yet. That's an interesting choice. We wanted to get certain kind of an army back up before expanding. We had the SCVs. We should have. I feel like we should look at that oversaturation. We're not even building an SCV. Oh, we are. I'm wrong. Okay, of course we were. We're still way down workers. We're still way down army. We're still way down tech. No, we're still high tech. And when's the harassment gonna start? I want to see how bad they are at this. And I wonder how much better the players are gonna be. I bet they're gonna be tons better because the AI will fight your 6 Marines with 6 SCVs. Like, that's a good defense. All right, losses. Let's see. 1,500 losses. What's the difference? We'll come back to that. And workers, down 20 workers. It's just this. It's just this over and over. See, there they were, chasing it away. There they were. Where's your army, dude? Come kill it, come kill it. Production. So we're still not SCVing up, which is fair, I guess. Nah. But it's tough because we only have 1 base to mine from, right? That one's getting mined out. We need to make some really crucial decisions about where to spend our little income. Multiple harassment down there. So we got the... And they're not just coming to shut this down. They have a huge army. Huge army. That could kill anything it wants. On the board. They were up 20 workers, now they're up 10 workers. Liberator's still doing work down there, or just safeguarding. And so you get out of sight and they're like, alright, problem solved, and then just head back. What's this up here? Another drop would be... Yeah. Oh, they didn't have vision, that's why the photon cannon wasn't doing anything. Okay, they got that. Maybe that's not the best target anymore. Now we're only up 10 workers. Down 10 workers. And losses, it was 1,500, now we're on par, so we just recouped losses. But they're still on 3 bases. And we're still not making SCVs on top of that. I wonder if that's a conscious decision at this point. Are we making another base? Beefing up our defense. Look, oh, see there, Robakazam's micro was busy down here, and Chipadon can set the rallies. Chipadon should be setting rallies more generally to the front, so this wouldn't be a bad place for the rallies. Robakazam's plowing forward with this some more. Now we're down 20 workers again because we're not making them again. Oh, is that really a good decision, AI? Is that the way you want to run? Maybe you don't run that way. Where's your army? Why is your entire army? Now they run away. So now they're down 10 workers. And the losses. Okay. We're still down a lot on army. This is where Robakazam's APM is. Chipadon's keeping our minerals low. All that gas means you can do some upgrade spending. Make some... I'm not good at building terrain units. You can't make sentries. What would you make? What do you make as terrain with all that gas? I don't know. Attack units, but what kind of tech were we going for? I know the battle cruisers. We're a fan of battle cruisers. We could be using... I don't really know. I don't really know what a good Vespane dump is. Just scouting, making sure, so we know they're on 3 and we know we're on 3. We're starting to feel better about this game because we've killed so many probes. So our probes aren't up again, which is a problem. We've killed so many. I don't have a count of how many were killed. Okay, Falcon. Probes are starting to overwhelm the forces, but they're losing probes. Get out, get out. Production. Making an SCV. So we're aware SCVs exist and that they need to be made, but we're deciding to make 1 instead of 2 or 3. Interesting choice. Robakazam feels like he doesn't have the APM to move another medevac or 2 out. That would be nice, right? Get a medevac down here during that. Here, the AI really can't handle medevacs that well, and players, I mean lower league players, they can't handle medevacs that well either. Should be doing more. Shouldn't be working as well as it did. They climb back up in workers again with our 3 orbitals, though it's pretty tied. There was a drop. Okay, there was a drop. There's basically no one left in another medevac to do anything, so brought down another one. Now this one should be going in. Let's look at them. Whole army. This one should be going in at the same time, and I bet we do, because that's how we clawed ourselves back. What's player 1 doing? Player 1's looking at this, thinking, what's the point? Thinking, let's do it.
SCV ready.
Player 2's got that. So player 2 doesn't know how to spend. Chipadon doesn't know how to spend the gas. These guys are going to get some work done. Something died there. The Marine. Oh, AI. Hey, they sent an appropriate response that time. That's what a player would do. And then maybe blink under that medevac and kill it. Other one's coming in. Nope. The other medevac went home because it was wounded. Oh, how do I see the life bars, the health bars? How do I do that? I've seen Falcon Paladin do it. Options. I give up. I'll do it later. Cancel. Turn again. Okay, so we probably feel like we got back into a relatively equal situation, but we'd be wrong because we weren't making SCVs. We have 4 more SCVs than we had 10 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, despite not being harassed at all. So we screwed that up. Chipadon doesn't seem to know how to spend the gas either. We should look into good gas dumps. I can think sensor towers, a couple sensor towers would be nice. Are we making any... Are we down on upgrades? We're only on 1-1, yeah, upgrades. I think we forgot about upgrades in this game. And I'm not seeing many Vikings or Liberators out. It would be nice to have some more of those. That's a problem. Some SCVs, or some supply depots would be nice. We could have a supply depot down there, have a supply depot up there. That would be good to do. We're making 3 SCVs at a time. Look at us. That's a good news. And oh, that's a planetary. We thought we were so behind that we'd make a planetary there. Good, fine. So we are about tied on workers. We're about tied on army. We're about tied on tech. We're a little down on tech. That's one reason. See, we have so much gas and we're down on tech. That's not a coincidence. That's where that goes. So we've clawed ourselves back to an equal position. So you know what? This game really had at least 2 or 3 parts to it. Oh! Pause. Yeah, at least 2 or 3 parts. In the first part, we were way up economically, in theory, but we squandered it. So by the time they finally attacked us, it was even. Could have killed us. They didn't. We clawed back to an equal position again, basically. Boom, 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 boom. Except for that. And now they're coming to attack us again. So on both attacks, we were relatively equal. Is this tech going to work a little differently? Maybe. I don't really remember. I have a vague idea. But the problems in the first time were Robakazam kept his bio too far to the back as if we were going to fight Banelings. Now the bio looks like it's all up front. Like there, I had a lot of it back. That's an interesting choice when you're going against Protoss. I guess it safeguards against Storm a bit, because I do not have the APM to dodge Storms. Even in Archon mode. This does not bode well for them, right? Something here. Here wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, sensor towers would be nice. We don't even see this one coming. And they start us the same. Look at that. Look at that AI. They know. You attack at the same time you expand. Because we're going to be so busy with this, we're going to have a hard time putting a drop down here. Although we seem to be doing so. Interesting. Just like the first game, a drop hit and got wiped out. The first phase, a drop hit and got wiped out just as the attack happened. So we're about to do another drop at the same time an attack's happening. Same total army supplies. All their army right there. No army. Oversaturated. No army. No army. No. I mean, there's a war prison. I think they count as army. Of course. Observer. So basically, this is 100 supply of Protoss, and this is probably only 70 supply of terrain because there's this, and there is some stragglers up here trying to defend against drops. Storm available? No. Here we go. And I wonder if we figure out how to repair this, because we had some trouble with that earlier. Oh, and we have a loaded up Nativac. Z for zoom. Z for zoom. There. Look at them walking to the concave. Fight the planetary. Repair the planetary. I don't know how to turn these light bars on. Oops, so that did not go well. Those are very well placed Guardian shields. Look at that. But the tanks are firing the whole time. At the same time, this drop is doing okay. It's doing something. They're going to come defend it, but it didn't go as poorly as the first one. And here, are these guys actually repairing? 154 health. Yeah, they're actually repairing, so that's good. It wasn't a total stomp here, but you can tell the Protoss, the train again is walking through. But they're not walking through with an army big enough to just crush everything like they did the first time. And there's layers of defense here, so that army, could they beat these layers of defense? Maybe barely, and there's nothing on the way. So this is not going to be a killing blow. Both sides, I mean, this is going to do some damage here, and this is maybe going to do some damage. We'll see how this all goes. But repairing this was huge. There's a really good chance we would have lost the whole thing if this wasn't repaired. That did some serious work. And they're still taking tank fire. No, they just stopped? Oh, they are. That tank has 4 kills. Should have retreated a while ago. Human might not have. Probably would have. And yeah, I mean, a decent human probably wouldn't have fought against that planetary to begin with. The kills of this one have 6. 0. And so Robakazam and Chipadon held that 4 kills. That guy wasn't even firing. I don't know how I feel about the placement of that guy. Maybe he should have been right there. And how did this do? They did okay up here. 0, 1. So they wiped out that handful of zealots. They brought that down a bit on health. I gotta turn those health bars on. And then Robakazam is feeling pretty emboldened. Oh, there's your good defense, right? Wish I could see Probe's death. Alright. Falcon Paladin was able to pull up units killed during a match somehow, and he says it's not game hard. I asked, he says it's not game hard, but I looked at all my buttons here, and I don't see any of them that show me which unit. Control U. I don't see any of them that show me the units that have died. I can see lost right there, and I can see I don't know how to do it. Alright, here we go. Attacking. Lost 6,000 difference. Robakazam Chipadon are up 6,000. And they're about ready to try and bring the pain to the Protoss player while expanding, while re-expanding. They're feeling pretty good about things right now. Oh yeah, the army's totally dead because they brought the whole thing up and it wasn't. They brought the whole thing up. The train had staggered defense, but it was just the front lines that was able to hold, basically. So this is basically it. Oh, so they decide not to fight? Now you're not going to fight, buds? Alright. Just little group attacking. I think this goes on for a while. Basically. Well, you know what? This advantage is about as big as the advantage that the AI botched in the beginning. I've lost games similar to this versus Zerg because I didn't press and Zerg was able to re-drone and then remax. What a Guardian shield. No, what a force field? Just called force field. Okay, so this is just Chipadon macroing up here, re-expanding with a thought to what can beat us. Let's not lose to that. So if you look at production, we're hopefully building against what could beat us. I would like to see some more missile turrets, some more sensor tower. It's hard to say. And Chipadon's doing a good job with the minerals, but still, we need a dump for the gas. And I mean, I don't want to say don't mine gas, but we have a lot of gas. I wonder what it could be spent on. Okay, so big takeaways. Don't keep your bio behind your tanks that far versus terrain. Maybe spread out and storm it a little bit, but I mean, didn't need to be like that. They weren't even fighting. Although they were guarding against if the attack came here. Like if I put them here, then we had a big concave here. You're not guarding against this. But maybe that's so narrow that it doesn't matter. So here we're just looking to have secret bases, what could beat us. Little patrols going all around. That's about it. So we came back because they were dumb and continued to be dumb while we harassed. Chipadon got mad last time when I didn't finish the video. So I'm going to speed it up and let the rest of this play out. Look at that. Why Archon when you can do a 2-on-1? How do I speed up? Control Shift up. Oh. Was I on normal speed that whole video? Whoa. Okay. Watch that next time. Here we go. Chipadon wants to see the end. The AI can be really stubborn with how it gives up sometimes. Faster X4. Faster X2. Faster X4. We're expanding. And we're producing a ton of stuff. And they made a high Templar. Actually, whatever. Getting our upgrades. Our gas is still really high. We need a gas dump. Maybe that's what BCs are for us now. I think a little more. Maybe Liberators could have done it. We didn't want that many Liberators. So we'll have to look into it. What's a good gas dump? I don't really want Ghosts. I don't know that we have the APM for Ghosts. Even on Archon mode. Might be too hard to use. And we're just happy, right? They're stuck. We're gonna win. You can't win more than half your games, but you can win more than half of the time.